All right, what is good? What is good? We are here back again for another episode of Versus Andy Malafarina, and I got on the line the very well. I gotta figure out what your name is because I've seen on social media. I've got like 3 or 4 different names. I see
Yeah.
Uncool Ron, Uncle Ron, and then your email showed me your real name. What do you go by, my man?
Honestly, whatever works, whatever's easier for everybody else. Ron's fine. I adapted to Ron, so that's always good. But my name's Aaron.
Oh, okay.
I'm a
So
scam artist.
you're scamming people. Fuck yeah, dude. So wait, where did the Ron? Well, actually, let's give people a little bit of background for anyone who doesn't know. I got you on here because you sell candles, and if you guys are watching the video, he doesn't really. If you look at him, you wouldn't say, "Oh yeah, this guy sells the shit out of some candles." So let the people know what you do and sort of how you got there. We'll start there.
Well, I started making candles as gifts for my homies and shit like that because, I mean, I grew up in Kensington in Philadelphia, which I'm now residing in again. It's fantastic. But I started making candles as gifts because I was low on money at the time. This is like 5 years ago. And I thought I would just like, fuck it. Instead of buying candles, I can do some cool shit and just give them to my homies. And one day at work, one of my friends was just like, yo, you should sell them. And I was like, well, I don't know. I don't really want to fucking deal with it, but I'll try it, So I did a market, yeah, probably a little over 5 years ago now. And I think I took about 40 candles with me and sold out in like the first hour and a half or so. So then I was just sitting there, without any product and just fucking chilling. But yeah, it's just, it's fucking all natural soy wax candles with wood wicks, man. No chemicals, no bullshit. Just trying to have fun and collab with my friends.
Hell yeah. So wait, where did the name come from then? Because like you said, your real name's Aaron, but like
Yeah.
it goes by Uncle Ron, Uncool Ron on Twitter.
Yeah.
Where'd you get the name from? Because there's something about like just like uncle, with your look and then having it say like Uncle Ron and stuff. There's something about the labeling of that rolls off the tongue and has like a good vibe to it and shit. So where did Uncle Ron come from?
It was a joke nickname that an old coworker gave me. I was working in a digital print shop, and it started out just calling me Ronnie. No clue why. And then Uncle Ron, started, and I was like, yo, this is around the same time that I was like being told by my friends that I should sell this shit. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it, dude. I'll do it. And I just used Uncle Ron because it sounded way cooler than anything else that I ever came up with. It sounds like a household name. It sounds like it should be it should be a product. It should exist.
Yeah, it sounds like it has that sound of you're like, oh yeah, dude, we'd always go down to the Jersey Shore and pick up a case of Uncle Ron's candles and shit. It just sounds right.
Yeah. No, I could definitely see that. Definitely boardwalk style fucking novelty bullshit. It's not bullshit though. I shouldn't.
No, you were saying about so when you first start, you were saying about all the different, would it be ingredients or what or whatever? I know I always associate ingredients with food or whatnot, but all the stuff you put in your candles, you were saying it's what was it, like organic or
Yeah, it's all soy.
Okay,
Yep.
so it's all soy based?
Yeah. So the wax is soy based. It's a blend of different soys, like different beans, apparently. And I'm actually transitioning to a more once it's available, because there's a supply shortage everywhere. But like, it's more of a 100% single bean kind of thing, and it's just like no one buying the candles will probably know the difference, but I'll know, going into it that you're going to get a better burn. You're not going to have like I get a lot of inconsistencies with natural wax after pouring. So like the candle will sit for at least 24 hours. It'll be solidified, and as it's curing, it'll get like craters in the top, so it looks terrible. You know what I mean? Um, so then I have to like clean those up, and it's an extra step that I'm looking to just try and get rid of. But the natural waxes probably throw off the best scent, in my opinion. And there's no, soot in it. I don't know if you know, but like paraffin wax has soot in it. So you're not only are you burning, which is going to release, toxins and shit like that, because whether it's cotton or wood, you're going to release toxins when you're burning something. But the wax itself, for it to keep its property, and it's like super smooth and like super easy, it has soot in it, and I don't think anybody really wants to burn soot.
Yeah,
it seems a little fucking silly.
Yeah. Soot sounds like something you don't want to be fucking burning every day, especially too when you get a candle and the whole thing is to create a relaxing vibe, and now you got soot in the air. So when someone says soy, like, oh, they got soy in it, there's the whole vibe of it being more more natural, more green or whatever. Is it that, or is it just the fact that like you've been doing the testing over the time and you're like soy works the best for like to burn, for the candle to last longer and stuff like that?
Well, it definitely works for the jars that I use, probably better than anything else. But after trying a bunch of different waxes over time, once I found out that there were, chemicals and shit like that in certain waxes, I was like, I don't want to fucking burn that. You know what I mean? It's like almost all the shit that you'll find in, big box stores and stuff like that have, oils that have chemicals in them and wax that isn't completely natural. So again, like when you're burning something in your house for long, like hours at a time, you're releasing whatever that candle has, you're releasing it into the living space.
And that's like all the main candle companies do that.
The bigger ones, I know, like Yankee and Chesapeake Bay and shit like that. Like, they're trying to transition into more natural shit, or they actually sell natural candles, but then sell them for like way more than what their other candles are.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it's just like it's mass produced. They're giant companies. But like, what's cool about Chesapeake though, I admire that woman just because she kind of started the same way. She started out of a bedroom in her house, and now she's like this, fucking millionaire selling bulk candles. That's wild, man. Candles are weird. I never thought that I would get into like making candles.
Well, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, I like never thought that I would do that. It was just like one of those, it was a side hustle in the very early stages. And I didn't even put that much thought into it until like, I really think with my homie Bruno doing the art and the name Uncle Ron's, it felt like it already existed. You know what I mean? Like people were eating it up because they felt like it's been around for a long time. I don't know.
No, that I feel you. Like I said already, the name hits. It's a good name. So that I'm glad you transitioned into that, because that kind of brings up something else I wanted to ask you about. So you said you started making candles just purely out of the fact that you're like, shit, I don't have a lot of money for fucking Christmas presents or whatever.
Yeah.
I'll make some Was it literally just like, I'll make some candles out of the fact that it's cheap as hell, and then over time you're like, oh fuck, I like making candles?
Yeah, turns out it's actually fun as fuck. I can get stoned and pour wax in the jars all day long, and people like it. You know what I mean? It was like, so it started way back when I was a kid. Like I would help my mom make gifts for our family and stuff like that, because we grew up poor, and it was the easiest way to like, hook up the people that we actually fucking cared about, because we still wanted to get them something. And it was sort of the same situation, 5 years ago when I started making candles, because I was tired of buying them and it was cheaper for me to make them myself. And I was like, fuck it, I can do that. But what goes into that? And turned out it was a lot easier than I ever thought it would be. As long as you just pay attention to like some key some key points in it's more of the melting and adding oil process. I think that's the most like, I don't know. Maybe not. No, it is. It definitely is. Because it's like you if you put oils in something that's too hot, you'll just burn it. Like oils have flash points. And once you figure out like when to put oils into the wax, it's like, I don't know. It's probably the easiest thing in the world. I tell people all the time, like, you can make these. Like, you don't have to rely on me, because I get a lot of shit from people like, oh, when are you going to put more candles out? And I'm like, look, I would do it every fucking day if I could, but with the supply shortages and shit like that, I'm just like, I should just like set up online workshops and teach people how to fucking do this shit, because I don't know, man. It's so incredibly easy and therapeutic that I think a lot of people would get joy from it if they realize that they don't actually have to like stress about it. It's less stressful than it possibly, like, it probably seems.
Interesting. So here, yeah, walk me through the general process of making a candle, because you're telling me like with like oils and all this and that, I'm kind of like lost slightly on the whole. So what's the general process of making a candle?
All right. So I'll set wicks in jars, and I use wooden wicks just because they burn better.
When you say burn better, what does that mean? Like a little bit slower so you get more out of the candle?
A little bit slower. The flame is smaller. It doesn't get too crazy. I don't know, like if you ever burn a candle and you get like those wild dancing flames that are just like, and then the jar starts turning black and it's just disgusting. The cheaper candles do that. And I tried a ton of cotton wicks before I even went to wood. And the second I went to wood, I was like, yeah, this is a no-brainer. Also, it has a little crackle too, so it's like a personal fireplace, which is pretty fucking tight.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. But yeah, I'll set the wick in the jar. I usually go ahead and label everything from this point, like candle care on the bottom, whatever candle I'm making, label on the front, and then it's getting your wax to temperature. So I usually get my wax to like around 185, 190, because when you pour it, it'll cool down a little bit the second it leaves the heating vessel. And then you want to add your oils around that same temperature. Anything lower, you can risk not having like a good cold throw, which is the candle, how it smells when it's not lit. And you could also affect if you put it in too hot, you could risk it not having a hot throw at all. So you'll only smell the candle when it's not lit, but when you're burning it, it's not throwing anything. So I usually wait till around 185 degrees, add my oils, let it chill till about like 135, 132, and then I pour everything. And that's really all that goes into it. So it's blending your oils however you want to do it. There's a lot of suppliers that just have oils that smell great out the gate. And you just add oils, let it cool, pour it, and then it has to cure. It's better if it cures for about a week. I usually pour, if I put the shop up on Friday, I'll pour that Friday right now, because I'm only able to pour as much glass as I can actually receive. But then it'll sit over the weekend, and then by the time it ships and it's in transit, it cures while it's moving. So what does the curing process do? It just settles everything. So you could technically burn a candle after 24 hours, but if it sits in like a cool environment, it allows that time for, I guess the molecular structure of the oils to dissipate within the wax more. I'm not too sure. I guess for longevity of the candle, it helps get everything fucking hanging out.
All right, that makes sense. So you were saying you keep saying about supply chain and stuff, which I know it's fucking up everyone's shit, but is it like, what's the main thing? Because I heard you say the thing about the glass. Is it literally just like, if I just had more glass to make these fucking candles in, I could be able to like pump more out?
Yep, that's exactly it. when quarantine happened and manufacturers shut down for a while, it stopped production. And they, I use a couple reliable suppliers, and I don't like giving my money to just anyone. So I try to stick to them as much as I can. And they're pretty much, the second they get glass in, it's gone that week. No matter how much extra I buy, I can only get like 2 weeks in advance, which is kind of brutal.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why I'm switching to, not permanently, just like a temporary solution, but adding 8-ounce tins to the shop, because the tins are a little bit more accessible than the glass right now. I just don't like how they look. I mean, they're not fine. I like them for the burn boxes, but I don't know. There's something special about a glass jar, like just the way it looks and feels. It's a little more tangible. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I feel that. So I see you were saying about the burn boxes. I was looking on your website, and I actually see you have a Patreon here, which is patreon.com/Uncle Ron's Candles. Go support your boy. So how does the whole burn box situation work and signing up for the Patreon?
So the burn box right now is it's $30 a month, and you get 3 4-ounce candles every month, as well as 15% off my website as long as you're a subscriber. But the tins, the scents change every month. I try to let everybody know what scents are coming in advance. A lot of times I like it to be a surprise. Like I usually release new scents to burn box subscribers first. So if there's some cool shit that I'm excited about that I'm playing with, I end up getting it to the burn box subscribers first before I actually do a run on my website. So it sucks. I don't really have an option to have the subscription on my website. I have to go through Patreon, and they don't really make it easy for the creator to change tier prices, even, because when I first started doing the burn boxes, they were $20, and you still got 15% off my website and everything. But that was when it was like 15 or 20 people. And then recently I was just getting overwhelmed because it's just me doing it. I did pay a homie to help me box some shit because it got to be a lot. But when I think before I told everybody to like cancel and prep for the new tier, I was up to like 185 subscribers, which is wild. And there's a lot that goes into making those fucking boxes. You got to stamp them, fold them, cut all the wicks for all the tins, and it ends up I was getting close to like 600 candles, just for these boxes. But yeah, it's fucking cool. You get 3 cents every month. They're usually fun as hell, and you always have 15% off my website, which I think is pretty tight.
Hell yeah. Check out that Patreon. Excuse me. So you're talking about making the different scents. Is it like, are you like always doing different ones like every month and shit?
Yeah, I have some, I have a solid lineup right now that I like to, swap out seasonally a little bit, because, not all the time people don't want like winter kind of scents in the spring or summer, and vice versa. So I try to just switch up between what scents I have in my line now and any new stuff that I'm trying to like workshop. Like sometimes it might even just be a blank tin because it's a scent that I came up with, and I was like, I'm pretty much crowdsourcing it to see if people are actually into it.
Do you ever have a scent that you're just trying to like work at and you just can't crack it, and like every time it comes out you're like, fuck, this sucks?
Yeah, absolutely, all the time, and I just gave up on it. I'm like, fuck it, it's just not meant to be. And then a couple months down the line, I'll add one thing that was probably had nothing to do with the scent at all, and I fucking rounded it out, and then it's like, it's fine.
What was the hardest scent for you to figure out?
Shit. That's a good one. Probably, it's actually a discontinued scent, and it seems so straightforward, but it was called Bent, and it was a cedar wood and vanilla candle, but it kept coming out super sugary sweet, like way too much vanilla, even though I didn't put anything else in there. You know what I mean? Um, even if the ratios were like 90% cedar wood, it was still coming out like sweet vanilla, and I didn't want that. It was supposed
Like
to be like an earthy scent.
every time you lit the candle, it was just crazy vanilla smell.
Well, yeah, because you can get a good idea from just blending oils before you add it to wax, but you're not going to get the same scent. Uh, it's almost like it's creamier when it's burning, you know.
Okay.
Um, but I ended up adding fucking sandalwood, just one more earthy aspect to it, and it cut the sweetness completely.
Is
That
it
was probably
still
the hardest one.
okay? Interesting. Yeah, because I feel I can imagine because like I know if you fucking have vanilla when you're baking or whatever, like even
Yeah,
a little drop is super strong.
yeah, it's out of control. It's the same way. It's a very strong scent.
Yeah.
It's a strong flavor. Uh, that's why I try to not use it as often anymore, just because it's unless like I'm doing like a fucking birthday cake candle for whatever reason. It's just it's too powerful. It's way too strong.
um, has the whole has the whole like scent making become easier over time? Because I kind of think of it like I do stand up, and it's like you think the more like stand up becomes easier over time, but it still becomes
Mm.
almost like harder. Is the scent like has it gotten easier, or is it still, or are you just like challenging yourself more, and you know you're still finding it still becomes like hard and stuff?
I'm still running into walls, but for the most part, like blending and shit like that has become a little bit easier because it's like you understand which ones actually will take over. And there's actually a ton of tutorials that helped me with that shit because I never thought I would get into doing this shit, so I was like uh, just trying to figure it out. And I feel like there's no right way to do it. It's because like if you're going for a specific scent, um, only you really know what you're looking for. So it's pretty much trial and error over and over until you can get something.
Mm,
Because
interesting.
oils react differently with other oils too. Because like I'm talking about how vanilla could be like crazy fucking powerful, but then there could be like something like patchouli, which is a powerful plant to begin with. Um, it's actually pretty mild as far as oils go. So it's kind of hard to it's all trial and error.
Interesting. That seems like it's frustrating, but like really rewarding when you
Yeah,
find that you finally find that combo, and you're like, "Fuck yes, dude, I
yeah,
did it."
yeah. As soon as you get it, it's like it. I don't know. It's pretty next level because you're like, all right, fuck, cool. Now I get to share that with people, and anytime something new happens, I mean, I get excited anytime like one of my homies, like my one friend owns he puts out tapes and shit for bands. He has a label, and anytime he puts something out, I jump on. I'm like, oh shit, this is probably some new band I haven't heard of, and he's the best dude. I'm gonna fucking support it. You know what I mean? So like when I get excited about a new scent, I want to drop it like immediately. Like I just put out one called Boogie Boardin', and it's just it's mango and coconut milk, super straightforward, but it smells like summertime, and I'm fucking stoked on it. And I finally get to put that. I put that in last month's burn box, and I'm finally doing a run this Friday, coming up in some tins for that shit. Fucking stoked.
Hell yeah. So when because you're more of a smaller operation, I hear you keep saying like we'll do a run of that and do it. Is it more like, all right, this is what we're doing now, rather than here's a bunch of different candles, you can buy this, or is it kind of like you let them know like this is what we're doing this month?
Yeah, it's usually by batch. So my goal was to have batches out every Friday, every week, every Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern time. And then the glass shortage caught up with everybody. So I'm not able to put out product as fast as I want to. But every time I put something out, it's always I'll figure out what scents I have around at my shop and try to like curate a fun release for people and keep it fresh all the time. Because like I like taking things away from people because people want what they can't have. And also I like keeping it fun for everybody and fun for myself. Like I don't want to do the same like repetitive bullshit all the time. You know what I mean? Like I want to switch shit up and keep it exciting and keep people like talking about Uncle Ron's. Like that's the main goal. Keep people excited and keep them talking about Uncle Ron's because like, I mean, aside from the shortage, I don't know. Again, people want what they can't have. So I'm going to make cool shit and then take it away from everyone. And then bring it back randomly. And they're like, oh, fuck, this is the one that I missed. This is awesome.
No, it's definitely, especially too, like you can go to a store and buy any Yankee Candle, any, what was the other company? Chesapeake Bay.
Yeah.
It's like, you're almost being like, hey man, I'm the fucking candle guy. I'll let you know what's good. Like, you know,
exactly,
give them a fucking surprise.
Candle King, dude.
Yeah, dude. I'm the fucking Don of candles. So I'm always curious about this because when I was doing, when I've been doing like podcast stuff, I tried sending out T-shirts and stuff, and you know, my whole thing is like, I'm gonna keep them super cheap, and then you start realizing all the like business stuff, and you're like, oh fuck, you see shipping and handling and all this other shit and the cost of T-shirts, and you're like, oh, that's why T-shirts aren't as cheap as I want them to be. So you got into this being like, yeah, dude, I'll make some fucking candles. And then what were some of the big things you realized when you shifted it into more of like a real business? Like what was some of the shit that hit you that you realized you had to do?
Well, it came down to buying my own shipping supplies, and then trying to work out postal service shit. So like trying to work within my means, because like they're truly the best for small business. Still, even though I've been super frustrated with them recently, they're still like number one as far as shipping and stuff for small businesses. Because I got frustrated and shipped out some orders with like UPS and shit. And this is the one time I did it, and I got messages like, "Oh, my candles are broken." Like packed them the same exact way that I would with USPS, but shipped at UPS, and that was probably the most damaged goods that I've ever received.
Really? And was that like a big trial and error process to figure out? Because that's the thing you don't think about. Yeah, you know, you want to make these candles, but when you ship them out, they're in, like you said, they're in glass. Was that like a really hard process to figure out the right way to ship them out?
Yeah, it was easy early on because I was only doing like markets and shit like that in Philly. I wasn't shipping anything. And then probably late 2018, it started picking up, maybe a little bit like mid 2018, the shipping started picking up. So I was kind of thrown into it. So then I was like frantically looking like, oh, well, how much does it cost for like this weight of the candle? Like, do I have to pay more for glass just in case it gets damaged and like all that shit? And like, for the most part, I don't even do, I don't even put insurance on these things because they're fucking candles. If they get damaged, I'm just going to send you a new one anyway. Like, it doesn't matter. But I think shipping alone, until I realized that like I could use the USPS to its full advantage and like use their flat rate shipping boxes. This way I can keep costs low on the shipping side, because like I charge $20 for a 9-ounce jar. My candles are $20. I look like shops in Brooklyn are selling the same size for like $45. And I'm like, that's fucking crazy. I could never do that. So I didn't want people to end up paying, you know, half the price for one candle to be shipped. Because then like, I don't know, $30 for a candle shipped seems pretty fucking silly, especially when you're getting like 45 hours out of one of them. I don't know. It just seemed wild to do that. Like I had a couple people, like I shipped to France once, which was fucking weird. Some dude found me through, I do collabs all the time with Fuzz Roche's guitar pedals. And
wait, with who?
Fuzz Roche's.
Oh, okay. You say guitar pedals?
Yeah. So if you if you're in the fuzz and cool shit like that, I don't think anybody does pedals quite like uh, Ryan at Fuzz Roaches. He's the fucking goat. Um,
And
but
so,
yeah,
so what does that mean when you do a collab with guitar pedals? Because that's so that's like guitar pedal candle collab is just a hilarious statement, but it also
yeah, it's
fucking
fucking
rules.
goofy, but it actually works and it's wild. Like I didn't think I once you realize that everybody loves candles, then you're like, oh shit, the cross between like gear nerds and candles like is fine because it started out doing the 420 fuzz. There was a couple before, but the 420 fuzz we did every time he would do a release, we released a small 2 ounce candle that had like a weed strain name to go with it, but it smelled fucking dope, you know? Um, we did like a blueberry kush or something, and it was just like a blueberry cobbler candle, and it
Hmm.
was fucking awesome. Um, so I got a lot of like guitar pedal dorks hit me up all the time, like, yo, dude, like, when are you guys doing another release? So I talked to Ryan about it. Now every time he does like the 420 fuzz, we release candles with it. Um, but that's how that dude in France got to me because he buys pedals, and he was like, dude, like, how much would it cost to ship to France? And it was like $40. And I was like, you sure you want to spend $40 on like one? He was like, nah, dude, I'll buy like seven. It's fine. I'm like, okay, that's what's up. But yeah, it's like I don't know, man. Shipping fucking sucks, and I wish it didn't have to happen. There was like an easier way to make it happen, but I'm also kind of thankful that uh, people actually want to support other people because all quarantine, like this company pretty much like kept me alive. You know, it's wild.
Yeah, no, that's what's up. Yeah, it's interesting how because I have some friends who do, they work in similar shit where it's like a lot of people still ordering online, and I think there was a lot, there's a lot of people that quarantine hit them hard, but then there was a shitload of people who just had a bunch of free time, so they're just like, I'm just gonna I can't leave my house, I'm gonna be ordering shit all day
Yeah,
online and stuff.
and like what better? I think 2020 was probably my best year ever doing candles, and it was all online and opened up shipping to the entire country. So with the help from like doing the collabs with Fuzz Roaches and like other friends and shit like that, and local artists, it like it threw me in their pools. Like I became known in like their client base. So once everyone was forced to stay home, everyone's in their house. They want it to smell good, So people were buying the fuck out of candles, which is
Yeah.
wild. And I saw a ton of people starting candle companies, which is great. That fucking do it, dude. It's an oversaturated market, but if you do something well enough and you actually give a shit about it, you can do well with it. It's not that deep.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. I was looking too, like with a lot of the stuff you do, there's like a really cool aesthetic to it. Do you like talk to different artists and stuff, to make up the designs and stuff? And was that like an important part for you to be like, oh, I'm not just gonna have a candle company, like these are gonna look cool?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think it started with my homie Bruno, Brunovsky on Instagram. He's the fucking best. He uh, he pretty much made my logos for me, and he was gonna be like, he's the branding. I knew he did cool shit, and I wanted my shit to be cool because I feel like branding is half the battle. You know what I mean? It's
Hmm.
like that's what people see first. So if people are interested in what it looks like, then they're picking it up. And once they pick it up, I know they're going to buy it because it's a fucking solid product. Um, but I try to work with local artists in Philly. Um, I did some of the labels. My friend Madeline did some of the labels. I actually have a dope fucking 3 candle collection that I'm trying to have out in July. Um, but I think the glass shortage is kind of fucking me on that. But I'll honestly work with anybody. I love collaborating with people because it makes it fun for me, and it keeps it interesting for everybody else. And it's a fun way to make a product and donate profits to like cool shit in the area and like try to help people at the same time. Yeah, it's a small level, but it's like you got to do something. You got to play some part in like the restoration of like people. Honestly.
Yeah, no, and it's like an easy way to just combine forces. You know what I mean? I got these candles, you got dope art, like let's get everyone on the come up. You know what I mean?
And pay artists. Fucking pay artists, dude. Like pay them before. Like don't be fucking turds about it. They're putting so much time and effort into doing something super fucking specific and cool on your like demands, basically. Give them all the fucking money, they deserve it.
Dude, it's wild how like people don't. I God damn it! I wish I remember the name of the Reddit, but there's just a Reddit where like angry freelance artists post their like interactions with people.
Oh yeah.
And it is wild how many people are just like, yeah, you'll just do all of that for free or almost nothing, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, nah, man, they take a lot of years to learn it and a lot of time to do it. So it's like, just they're gonna want some money for it.
Yep. And it's funny too, because like people tend to think that they've been doing it so long and they're so good at it that this should be done fast. They should be able to just do it. You know what I mean? It doesn't work that way though. It's like there's a lot of time and hours that go into perfecting something that you want and still have to live with before they send it over to you. Like they have to deal with like, oh fuck, like how is this gonna go? Every single time. Like every artist friend that I talk to, they're always like, before they send like final art, they're like, I'm gonna have to fucking change it. Like there's gonna be something that they're not happy with.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, fucking pay them, dude. Pay every artist. You want art done? You want custom art? Fucking pay them.
Absolutely, dude. Pay fucking artists. Do it right now.
People.
Go pay an artist.
Go find an artist that you like and just send them money.
Yeah, figure out their fucking Venmo and just give them some money.
Yeah. Thanks for doing what you do. Here's some fucking scratch, dude. Keep doing it.
So what's what do you see in the future of Uncle Ron? Like, what do you see in the near future, and like kind of where do you want to take it and stuff?
I want to see how fucking far this thing can go, man. This is fun for me. I have a lot of fun with this shit. My goal this year is to build a small team to actually have employees. I think that'd be cool as shit. Even if it's like 2 people. Like if I'm able to like give 2 people jobs, that's pretty tight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's pretty fucking cool. And it'll also like, it'll free up brain space and energy for me to actually focus on creating newer and cooler shit while, still maintaining like a pretty consistent production, but I want to get into, I want to start adding like skincare and like hair products and shit too to the brand. Because like Uncle Ron's, I don't want it to, it's not just going to be candles. Like you'll know it for candles, but I still want to start the Burn One apparel brand that falls under it. And I want to have like a line of like skincare and hair care products as well.
Nice. Hell yeah. Also, you got the because I remember when I was messaging you about setting this up, you're like, "Oh, I just got all this equipment." Are you getting into like podcasting or streaming or something?
Well, I aside from Twitch and shit like that, I'm trying now that I'm in my own living space again. I want to get back to like writing music and shit. So I bought all this equipment in preparation of a move and actually having the space to write again. But yeah, I would like to bring the Burn One podcast back. I did like 4 or 5 episodes of it, and life just got real weird, and it had to be put on the back burner. But I kind of want to bring that back and just like, highlight a bunch of local artists and creators and makers and people and shit like that. But I mainly got all this cool ass fucking shit to make music again and see how that goes.
Yeah, and your music is actually a hilarious like 6 degrees of separation I had from you, because fucking your band back in the day was called the Anchor Boys. I had a buddy named I don't know if you know him, Ryan Landis. I roomed with him. Yeah, I roomed with Ryan in college, and he knew I like pop punk and stuff. He's like, yo, check out this band. And then out of no, I think shout out Tim Butterly, because I'm we follow each other on Twitter. He like retweeted you or something. And it was just something hilarious. And then I saw it and I'm like, oh, this guy's funny. And I followed you purely because your Twitter was funny. And then you randomly started tweeting about being in the Anchor Boys. And I was like, I listened to your fucking band in college, dude. This is so fucking random. So yeah,
that's awesome.
That was like our hilarious like 6 degrees of separation. That was just random as shit. But yeah, if you're into pop punk, that Anchor Boys album rules. So I'm happy to hear you getting back into music, dude.
Oh yeah, it's not going to sound anything like that, but it'll be tight.
Hell yeah, man. Well, this interview was great, man. I didn't realize candles was so goddamn interesting. Thank you so much for doing this, dude. Before we get out of here, throw out your social media and links and everything people need to know, to fucking pay you as an artist.
Yeah, fucking pay me as an artist, dude. I make shit. UncleRonsCandles.com, Burn1, the number 4, Ron on Twitter, Uncle Ron's Candles on Instagram. If you follow me on that shit, I try to post as often as possible about what releases are happening, but I'm still going to try and shoot for 5 p.m. on Fridays. Yeah, they go quick. I will say they go quick. So if you're interested in candles, try to get in there early.
All right. Hell yeah. Go check out Uncle Ron. Go support him. His shit is dope. All right, man. Thank you so much for coming on. Have a great day.
Thanks for having me. You too. Take care.
Take care. Wait.